The death of Andrew Felix Kawesa on March 17, 2017 spawned a welter of conspiracy theories fueled by destructive poker games within the security establishment. A team of journalists from the Daily Monitor and NTV, including those who interviewed Kawesa barely a day before he was shot, pieced together his last hours by speaking to a number of credible sources and eyewitnesses. A day before his death, Kawesa had appeared on Morning at NTV and later in the evening conducted an interview with the Daily Monitor reporter Gillian Nantume. Part of his response in the two interviews addressed issues of rising crime and insecurity in the city and the Kasese Palace raid where scores of the Renzururu King's guards were killed.
You know, many times when you catch a thief and so on, you display them and call us the media and say, this one we have arrested, he's been notoriously disturbing people, and here we are, we have them. And we're thinking, why has that not happened? So that, away from just absolving yourself, but that the truth gets to come out.
There is no attempt to absolve ourselves. And we are not denying that we used lethal force.
When I asked him if he felt safe, his expression was one of exasperation. He was tired. It looked like he had been asked that question many times. And so instead of answering me, he asked me if I actually felt safe. So of course I told him, I feel safe, but I mean, you're the focus of the interview.
I think it was 3 weeks ago when the head of the flying squad came out to say that criminals have really high caliber guns, and some of them are, I think, being given to them illegally by police.
Let me tell you, we will not have any society that is crime-free. That is utopian. So long as human beings live and have needs, you will have crime. So, you can't have a crime-free society. And as per the issue of criminals owning weapons, yes, we are just sandwiched by states that have had really serious conflicts and war. And some of these weapons cross over to our society, yeah, to our communities. And some of these bad characters use those as weapons to commit crime. You see, crime keeps changing. And when a new crime comes, people think it has now gone higher. The public should really give time to the police to investigate cases. They are really putting police on pressure. We want this, and sometimes when they even hurry, the case may really be weak. They may poorly investigate it.
Even after his death reverberated across the country, there is little progress in regard to finding his killers in the murky world of intelligence gathering, driven by notoriously fickle alliances and internecine fights. As the security agencies continue to investigate this murder, some of the questionable areas include who could have meticulously orchestrated the slaying of the Assistant Inspector General of Police, what was the motive of the killers, who could have financed this assassination, what reconnaissance was done and who aided them, and why does the killing of Kawesa have a striking resemblance with that of Joan Kagezi and Major Muhammad Chigundu? Was it the same group of assassins? On the day he was shot dead, his driver, Constable Godfrey Mambewa, and bodyguard Corporal Kenneth Erao, the best marksman in counter-terrorism during his intake, embarked on a routine to drive from Chira Road Police Station, where they sleep, to pick the children of their boss at about 5:30 a.m. The vehicle left his home at 7 a.m. and returned at 8 a.m. after dropping the kids at school. The driver and bodyguard later returned to pick Kawesa, who had an appointment at Uganda Christian University in Mukono. As he left his home in the sleepy rhythms of Kulambiro at 9:20 a.m., pellets of rain beat an insistent rhythm. As a practice for senior army and police officers, when they are being chauffeured, the drivers switch on the fog lights. Unaware, 3 men, 2 armed with AK-47s, staged an ambush about 700 meters from his home. The fog lights alerted the killers that Kawesa was in the vehicle with tinted windows. As he approached, the 2 who were armed and standing on both sides of the road unleashed a volley of bullets. One of the assailants came closer and shot Kawesa in the head, killing him instantly. The three men later fled towards Chisasi on a border. Kawesa's car was found parked with hazardous lights. We have been trying to reenact the scenario as it happened on the 17th of March in 2017 when the late Assistant Inspector General of Police Andrew Felix Kawesa was shot dead here in Kulambiro. And one of the conspiracy theories that cropped up and caused a lot of talkability in the public was why his car remained stationed in one place even after the shooting. One of the questions that became a subject of conspiracy theories was whether the driver deliberately stopped the vehicle, yet under pursuit by killers, he should have tried to speed off. For instance, the driver of Major Muhammad Chigundu, who was killed in a similar fashion like Kawesa, had veered into a drainage channel as he tried to escape the killer's dragnet. We spoke to an expert who is familiar with the kind of manual vehicle that Kawesa was being driven in. This is what he revealed.
So what could have happened at that time, maybe he was in number 4, gear number 4, and he removed the feet, automatically the engine will cut off, but the power will keep on running for other things like SC, fan, indicators, and the lights.
Earlier on, in the morning of March 17, 2017, police officers in the area of Kulambiro had been summoned at Chira Road Police Station in Bukoto for a head count. This information has been corroborated by sources within the force. Only 2 police officers were left at Tuba Police Post in Kulambiro, which is about 100 meters from the home of Kawesa, as the rest went to attend to the head count. The post was recently upgraded to a police station. One of the officers at this police station alongside Kawesa's guard at home were the first to reach the crime scene after Kawesa was shot. Eyewitnesses recount seeing the killers barely 50 meters away from the spot where Kawesa was killed.
Zinagenda kulanga omusajja akutte embundu n'ayasa ekirawuli. Kati bwe yamala okukyasa, jukaza zino embundu zaffe zino eza poliisi. Omusajja n'akola ki? N'agulawo. Okitegeera. Kati mu kugulawo awo yasooka n'agulawo n'akwata Kawesa n'amutunda bw'ati ku maaso. N'amukuba nengena okulaba nga agudde nga ali serious, nga bakubira ddala nga ali serious. Kati okuzaako magazine mukunaka magazine kati we natia n'enzira yoki emisinde okugamba wani neiba wange. Abakuba bali bambadde nga buno obujampa nga bwebise kuki ku mitwe. Omulala yali muwanvu size kyena alabako bulungi face charge etegereza bulungi yali muwanvu nga ati webitegaatege nga ali mu bujaketi. Deno omulala nga mumpimpi nga lisengulawo.
Barely after the shooting incident, the then IGP Karikihura and then Security Minister Henry Tumukunde and a coterie of other officers rushed to the scene. Some of these witnesses were given white coats, normally a preserve for forensic officers. They were later whisked away and kept at various places, including hotels, which served as safe houses.
Ugamba mukutujja wao ne general yatubuuza waliwo abamawulire abakoze eki ababalabye ntugamba nedda ataham n'adamu n'atugamba mugende fe twali tumanyi nga tugenze owa president kumunyumiza kitwalaba ngera twamusisinkana kye yakola yatukwasa omusajja woyo personal assistant we Baloza eyali akola atuvuga ulomu yatutwalako.
At one of the hotels in Chengera, some of these witnesses met others who had vital information on the death of Joan Kagezi, who was killed on 30th March 2015 in an archetypal border assassination style. Why has police and other security agencies failed to act on some of these major tips from eyewitnesses and others who claim to have key clues on these murders? Police made a number of arrests in the aftermath of Kawesa's death, including the Kamwenje mayor Geoffrey Byamukama, who was badly tortured. Councillor Ladislas Rwakafuzi told NTV that police should halt the practice of parading suspects to placate public outrage.
Just arresting people to assuage public anger because people are annoyed, get some few people and put them in jail, irrespective of whether you have done thorough investigations, of respective of whether the people you have arrested there's any evidence that is connecting them to that offense. This is what is happening. This is what has been happening in that very past, which I think should stop. Actually, as I speak now, I would want to advise the courts to, as soon as possible, set down the cases of people charged with these offenses of Kawesa, John Kagezi, and these people, they are just on holding charges. The DPP has no faith in their cases. These people are really wrongly in prison.
A private investigator, Freddie David Egesa, revealed that there were mistakes made at the crime scene which could have led to the tampering of evidence.
You could see that one, it got overcrowded. I think everybody, including nobodies, were there. People were there as per ranks, not deployment. Senior officers came and poured in the scene. That is adulterating it, because a scene of crime should be handled by experts. Maybe the criminals are also using the same chance, because you never know. A criminal can be anybody, within the police, within the very influential people. Find that someone comes to correct what he could have lost during the shootout.
The head of the Mulago National Referral Hospital's forensic unit, Dr. Sylvester Onzivua, who offered expertise on some of the major murder incidents in the country, offered this insight to NTV.
This is death by shooting, and a lot of information could actually have been got right from the scene of crime and by post-mortem. Now, in a death by shooting or missile or bomb blasts and so on, it's very important that bullet fragments, bomb fragments are recovered. You can only do that if you carry out an X-ray of the whole body. Now, in our city mortuary there, we do not have X-rays. The few times I have actually done this is when I beg for X-rays, the mobile X-ray from Mulago Hospital. I don't know if it was taken for these cases of the Kawesis, but I expect that should have been done. Now, once you recover bullets or bomb fragments, you must submit them to the ballistic experts. Now, when you submit them to the ballistic experts, they should be able to tell you the type of gun which was used for killing these people, and if similar bullets have been recovered in other cases, whether it's the same gun or different guns. This is of extreme forensic importance. The same with the cartridges recovered. The same with the bomb fragments recovered. They can go as far as telling you where the bomb was assembled or where the fragments were assembled, where they were got from. I expected the investigators to do this and submit them to our forensics department to help build up a case. What actually builds a case are the small pieces and fragments of evidence. When you are examining a case of a gunshot injury, you look at the entry wounds, the exit wounds, the bullet track. From it you can say the distance, the person of the killer, the angle he was in, for instance, where the fatal bullets came from. I will illustrate for you a case when the Honorable Godi, the MP for Arua, was alleged to have shot his wife. I am the one who did that post-mortem. And one bullet wound was in the arm. It went a little lower the chest, and the bullet was embedded in the back. And when you got the testimonies of the people who actually witnessed that lady being shot, later on they said she was actually in a kneeling position when she was shot. And this, I mean, it just, my post-mortem findings confirmed this, because I was able to trace the path of the bullet, and it was true, she was in a kneeling position. So it is important you actually find out you take the measurements of the wounds and use them for tracking the direction the bullet came from. We have had challenges in our city mortuary. I think most senior doctors are not now doing postmortems there unless specifically called for. But I think there are very unethical things going on there, sometimes wrong reports being given, so sometimes we do not want to associate ourselves with those things. You don't give a case, give it to one person, and the person hides the file and goes on it alone. Investigations need teamwork. Investigations need, you sit at regular intervals and bombard and say, where have we gone? What should we do? Which lead should we follow?
He also questions the credibility of the country's ballistic experts.
We must work hand in hand with ballistics, with toxicology, with the scenes of crime officers. Some of our branches have also not been. I think we need to improve a lot in some of these areas. We need to concentrate on improving our forensic sciences if we must. Improve on crime and convince courts of law that we have done, our evidence is beyond reasonable doubt.
The other area I would like that you could help me, which I keep agonizing on, especially the VIP targets. What do we do? Because the immediate way to protect them is to target harden. In other words, give them convoys and what. But can we manage? Because there are so many. You cannot have convoys for every vulnerable individual. I do not know whether they are not some of these terror cells which target them as vulnerable targets. So we need to therefore rethink the way we plan our counter-terrorism strategy, our counter-terrorism arrangement.
It's not clear yet whether any new evidence has emerged to help in finding and prosecuting Kawesa's killers. On Saturday, emotions ran high during a memorial service held in Chazanga, Luengo district.
The investigation is on, as I said. We have in total 13 suspects. But the cases, the way criminal justice works, might not be as swift as the expectations, as the anticipation of those that still hurt. So, what will the report say? It's too early because the investigation took different shapes. We have the suspects, some suspects, and we've been updating the public through the media.
The family of the late driver Mambewa in Namusi Central lives in the humble hamlet of Nakaloke sub-county in Mbale district. They have not received any help from government or police, which was promised. The mother of Mambewa, Margaret Wabala, engulfed by emotions, sobbed during the interview.
Mwana wangu oyo yabadde atuyamba. Godfrey abadde atuyamba. Bwenjukira ku mugenzi empisa bubi nnyo. Abadde atuyamba buli kimu.
Erao's family in Soroti was not comfortable speaking to the media. At the time of his death, the jockeying for power within security agencies was at its peak. Is it likely that this could have obscured a purposeful investigation? The moral arc of the universe is long, but for the relatives and friends of the deceased, it should bend towards justice. Walter Mwesije, NTV.